Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: which video game franchise should be revived? Burnout was a racing series, but a significant part of gameplay was causing other racers to crash. Fully destructible cars and environments. There was even a play mode where you got to launch your car down some sort of ramp, varies a bit by map, and into traffic, and you get points by causing the greatest amount of damage. Very fun. Edit: Geez guys, I'm glad so many other folks enjoyed this. I am humbled by the awards, kind strangers. Burnout 3, Takedown was so fucking good. Battle for Middle-earth. I would give so much, I'd even be down for it to just be re-released as is. I keep my Xbox 360 solely for that game because I can't play it on my computer anymore. Edit: Thank you to everyone who posted advice on how to get it working. It took me 3 hours, but I now have it available on my computer. I've been dying to play the expansion but don't know how to get it. Command and Conquer, but not with a mobile game. Generals 2 please. Didn't need to be sent to the grave. China will grow larger. SSX, so many hours lost on SSX 3. SSX Tricky was my favorite. It's tricky to rock a rhyme, that's right on time. It's tricky. It's tricky. Legacy of Kain / Soul Reaver, the storytelling was on another level. TimeSplitters. Splinter Cell. Well, you'll be glad to know that TimeSplitters is returning. Until there is an actual trailer, or more importantly, a release date, I refuse to get my hopes up. I have been waiting too long to be excited for a project that could get cancelled suddenly. Splinter Cell. The monkey's paw sits ready on that one. Any new Splinter Cell game is going to be a modern Ubisoft game, which means an open-world game designed to extract maximum profit from the player by forcing them to choose between an extended grind and microtransactions. I would love for another Chaos Theory, but I feel like it can never happen again. Portal. Yes, I recently replayed both games. All Valve titles. KOTOR, although I believe there is a remake coming soon. KOTOR has a better story and characters than most of the Star Wars movies NGL. Edit: On second thought, make that all the movies. I don't know if it's my rose-tinted memory glasses, but I remember them as having a better story and characters than all the Star Wars movies. I still have fond memories of Jet Set Radio Future. I'd love to see a revival. Pretty sure that's getting a spiritual successor. Edit: https://www.ig.com/videos. Fun fact, they got Hideki Aguma on that project. He composed the music for both Jet Set Radio games. So it's in very good hands. Silent Hill. Edit: Wow, thank you so much for all the awards. It's my first time getting any. If this doesn't happen in the next few years, then Komi is just leaving money on the table. The last few Resident Evil games, of which 7 and 8 bear some definite pint inspiration, prove that AAA horror games can be successful and massively lauded, and considering the fact that Sha and Re are basically the two Titan OG horror franchises, I think developers would want to pick up the gauntlet that Capcom has essentially thrown down. Technically Komi did make a Silent Hill recently that was a canon story. But it's a fucking Pakico machine. Dark Cloud. Way ahead of its time. Discovering Dark Cloud 2 completely blew my mind with how much content it had. It's insane that nobody has tried to copy the formula with modern technology. Lots of modern crafting / dungeon diving games are similar, but it's like DC2 is still the better game even after all these years. Challenging dungeons, crafting, photography, fishing, golf, a full-fledged city builder with customizatio, fun storyline and cutscenes, time travel, good graphics for the time, plus other things that I'm sure I forgot. Just listing them out loud I'm like, holy crap, that game was amazing. Sly Cooper. Thought of this immediately and had to find it here. Sly 1 to 3 was amazing. Legend of Dragoon and the Crew Trigger series. If we got a Crew Trigger / Crew Cross remake or sequel, I would legit flip my shit. IMO no remake is necessary, but another game in the series would definitely be awesome. The Jedi Knight series I feel like doesn't get enough credit for the platform gameplay, especially Academy. I would love to see more. Edit: Thank you so much for the awards. Glad to know there's plenty more of people like me out there who miss and replay old JK games. Academy had the most options for lightsabers, guns, and force powers. Also had a huge variety of moves, total freedom of motion, and a pretty damn good story too. It even had an amazing vehicle level. It's very sad to see that in the past decade very few games have attempted that level of variety. Academy was fucking amazing. I replayed it 4 to 5 years ago and yay, the graphics were hurting, but it's still the only Star Wars game, until Fallen Order, that I actually felt like I was fighting with a lightsaber. Did entire Ruthraufs using nothing but force powers and saber. Black and White. Imagine that game with updated ARI for the creature. The guy who created that ARI is one of the researchers behind DeepMind. There's a reason the ARI was so damned good. httpsn.wikipedia.org/wiki. httpsn.wikipedia.org/wiki. How have they not made a VR Black and White sequel yet? VR would be the epitome for god games like B and W. I want to dump a rock using my godly powers onto the town of an enemy. Watch them scream in horror as my godly influence grows. Golden Sun. Edit. Wow, this really blew out of proportion. I'm glad to see this franchise still has a lot of fans. Seriously. Just give us GS4 so we can finally beat the crap out of Alex and bring peace to a yard. Army of Two. We need more couch co-op games. The weapon customize RTO in that game was so sick. That was what kept me playing. Having a gold AK-47 with a drum mag, a shield on the front and a Nuda barrel shotgun made me feel like the ultimate badass Romeo. Splinter Cell. With improvements in ray tracing tech, this should be a no-brainer. The first one had amazing shadows and lighting for the time. Chaos Theory's graphics hold up, way ahead of its time. Mercenaries. Loved the mechanics of those games. That game was way ahead of its time. 2 big open world maps with destructible environments and tons of things to do. I don't know how that thing was able to run on a PS2. Being able to airdrop in any weapons/vehicles you like was so much fun as a kid. Jaqen Daxter. Edit. Thank you for the awards. You really made my day. This game was the shit, felt so smooth for its time. So easy to take for granted how ahead of its time those games were technologically. The controls and animations were buttery smooth. Plus, no loading screens and IRC, they ran at 60 FPS. Came here to say that. Give it the same treatment Ratchet Crash and Spyro got. Hell, while we're at it, throw Sly Cooper some love too. What I would do for a brand new open world, or not, Sly Cooper game. Rollercoaster Tycoon. Parkitect is pretty good. https www.gog.com/game/parkitect. Parkitect feels like the Chris Sawyer developed Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 we never got. I do still like the actual RCT3 though. The Mario-inspired level menu is kind of hilariously out of place too. No One Lives Forever. It's been ages, and I'm much older so my tastes may have changed, but I recall it being funny and actually fun, with enjoyable stealth mechanics and decent shooting. Edit. Well, shit, if I knew this was going to blow up I'd have put more effort into writing it. But glad to see it struck a chord. You look like you need a monkey is burned into my brain. Star Fox. Star Fox on the Nintendo 64 is still one of my favorite games of all time. I guess arcade-style games went out of fashion shortly after that, but it really is an amazing game. When the wings adjust on that first boss and you go into free fly mode, it just completely blew my mind. Midnight Club. I've been dying for a Midnight Club game recently. Same. ** even know how popular it would be, look how successful the recent Tuners DLC was. Simpsons Hit and Run. Wii Sports. I played the boxing game so long one night that the next morning I had to have my now wife help me put my shirt on for work. Couldn't bring my arms back without killing my shoulders. Twisted Metal. Edit. Thanks for the awards. Literally my first thought when I read the question. I still have the first 3 games. But Twisted Metal 2 will always be my favorite. It was the first game where the story actually got to me. Namely with Grasshopper's victory ending. Fuck, it still depresses me. F-Zero. Please. F-Zero on modern hardware would be eye-melting. I remember playing Wipeout on PSX and feeling that way. Somehow it ran at 60 frames per second on the Nintendo 64. I played so much to GX that the rubber on the left stick started to wear off. I did everything on this game. I even mastered snaking on the story levels with Vulcan. Spore, the tribal and civilization stages should be expanded. Edit, oh wow, my first gold. Thank you, kind stranger. Honestly, the creature stage was my favorite. Hands down. I liked the cell stage because part placement mattered. At one point I thought it was supposed to matter for creatures too instead of just being stats. Imagine a full top to bottom remake where creature and ship set C design mattered.